Hi, I'm Matt Deckard, and I've had a few hat questions recently, and one of them, which is the perennial one, is what's your favorite hat? And I get that a lot. I don't think I've really answered that one in how do I pick a hat? I've designed for a lot of different companies. I've made hats for myself. When it comes to what I love, I've gone through a lot of vintage ones that have just been really great favorites. But one that I think I really set above the rest is I designed it for the 150th anniversary of Stetson, and it is the remake of the open crown Stetson Whippet. Uh, Going to the actual felt factory and looking through the old classic colors for Stetson, there's a few that I picked out, like this one, which is tobacco, or just a completely natural beaver, undyed, in its purest form. Phantom Gray, which has a bit of a mouse type color, which I kind of liked. It leans kind of toward the brown gray. This is another style I'll show you in a second. And there was I guess, Alabaster, which was released in that year of the anniversary. Now, when it comes to what I really love, it's the details. I went out of my way to bring out a hat that you haven't seen from factory in about, I don't know, since the heyday of hats. This is all beaver. It's got a ribbon that's sourced from a factory I found in Italy that has been doing ribbon for over 100 years. Family company. It's a cotton rayon. Has a nice patina that breaks into it over time. Just beautiful. The ribbon is tacked on using a cotton thread, so it's a bit invisible. If you look at most hats nowadays, you can kind of see where they tack it. I wanted to be hidden. I wanted to have that classic quality of back in the heyday of hats. Another thing that was added to this style is the trolley cord, they call that. It's a wind string, where it's actually a button that if you can take this down, unwind that string, you can put it through your lapel hole. So if your hat gets caught by the wind, the string will still hold your hat, so it won't just fly away. Outside of that, just because I want to go over the details of what I really loved about this style, is that it's got a heavy bridal satin cotton rayon lining there. Again, classic. And the logo, which I did for the 150th for the Excellent Quality, is the classic black, red, and gold from Stetson's heyday. Other than that, it's got a very soft sheepskin sweatband. And the felt itself is one for this line and all the Excellent Quality ones for the 150th anniversary. It's a decatized, which means the shrink has been taken out of the felt by it's a technique I did at the factory to just make it so if it gets rained on, the felt doesn't shrink. But outside of that, my favorite hat would have to be these ones that are kind of I was going for the benchmark of hats, something you can make at a factory level that, again, you hadn't seen since the heyday of hat making. Now, when it comes to something I've always had, another hat I love, this is a vintage Dobbs I've had for about 20 years. And this one, actually, I love the proportions of it. It's got a square-shaped crown, just very high. It's about 5.5-inch crown, 2.5-inch brim with what's called Kavanaugh edge here. I've worn it to death. It's got a hole in it. But it's kind of that one you'll always go back to if you love a hat. So when it comes to favorite hats, I guess those are the ones. Again, the Whippet Open Crown, I think that's Excellent Quality. I think they're still selling it in Japan, but I'm not quite sure. The Stetson New York that I did, which is also from the anniversary lineup I designed. I did in this, like I said, the all natural. I did it in this. It's Phantom Gray, which was again a classic Stetson color from the felt plant that I found and added to here, and then Alabaster, which I just wanted kind of that classic, smooth. You know, most Stetsons today are kind of like Fenders, and I just didn't put any stiffening in this any of the 150th anniversary open crown hats, and I just very proud of those ones. But I love them. Anyway, I'm Matt Deckard, and those are my favorite, probably most worn hats. Take care.